The index is one of the 5 core bullet journal collections, and its purpose is navigation. It helps you find other collections in your journal much quicker. So rather than flipping through your journal aimlessly, trying to find something that you set up a little while ago, you can just flip to your index and find it in the list that you've set up for yourself there. Typically, we place an index at the very start of a new journal, so that it's easily accessible whenever you need to turn to it. The bullet journal index can kind of be thought of as a cross between a traditional index that you'd typically find in the back of a reference book and a table of contents that you'd typically find in the front. While a table of contents lists out all of the sections in a book in the order that they're placed, our bullet journals don't necessarily have to have collections placed sequentially. You could have a collection that starts on page 42, and then the next instance of that collection is on page 64. The index in a typical book, at the back of the book, lists out all of the topics and themes in alphabetical order, and then lists all of the numbers of the pages those things can be found on. The bullet journal index takes elements from both of these. With regards to the table of contents, it takes the sequential part from that, because you're going to be listing all of the collections in your journal in the order that they first appear in your journal. But because those collections don't have to be placed on sequential pages, the element that we're taking from a traditional index is just listing out all of the page numbers that those collections can be found on. In terms of setting up your index though, it's really as simple as titling the page with the term index, and then as you populate your journal with different collections, you log them on that index page by writing out the title of the page and the page number that it can be found on. The index does rely on you having page numbers in your journal, so either pre-printed page numbers or ones that you put in yourself. You can either number all of the pages when you start using your journal, or what I typically like to do is number the pages as I go, just in case there's any reason that I have to remove a page or stick pages together. In terms of what actually gets put in the index, this is completely up to you, but writer Carol suggests that we don't put things like our weekly logs and daily logs in the index. Instead, the things that we do put in the index are collections like the future log, any monthly logs, and any custom collections. By keeping it to these kind of big ticket items, it means that we're easier able to find those when we try and use our index without having any clutter from daily logs or weekly logs in the list. So far, what we've mainly been talking about is what's called the master index, or the index that you put right at the front of your bullet journal. Because the bullet journal system is designed to capture everything that you want to put into your journal, you can end up with a very diverse stack of collections. So things ranging to household projects, work tasks, goals that you're working on, things for any kind of school or study you're doing. The list is effectively endless. But that means that scanning through your master index to find one thing in particular related to one area of your life can be a little bit harder than it needs to be. This is where dedicated indexes come in. Dedicated indexes can be placed anywhere in your journal, and what they're used for is for capturing and summarizing all of the collections related to one specific topic. For instance, if you want to be able to easily find any of your collections related to work and work projects or work tasks, then making a dedicated index just for your work collections could be really useful. You'd log the dedicated index in your master index so that you knew where to find it, and then on that dedicated index page, you just list out any collections related to that area in particular. All of those entries on the dedicated index could also go in your master index, but the dedicated index helps you find those collections related to that particular life area just a little bit faster. This is just one idea for how to enhance your bullet journal indexing, but we do have a separate video on index ideas that's worth checking out. That one's in the top left here, so click or tap on that one and I'll see you over there.